In the complex tapestry of the Middle East, few rivalries are as sharply defined and historically significant as the ongoing conflict between Iran and Israel. This animosity permeates regional politics and casts a long shadow over international relations. Though geographically separated by 1,000 miles of land and differing cultures, these two nations are inextricably locked in a persistent shadow war, a silent battle waged on multiple fronts. This conflict is fought not with conventional armies clashing on battlefields, but through the clandestine operations of spies, each side attempting to gain an advantage through espionage and intelligence gathering. Cyber attacks are a frequent weapon of choice, with both nations engaging in sophisticated digital offensives, targeting infrastructure and sensitive data. And proxy militias, armed and funded by each side, extend their influence across the region, engaging in conflicts that further fuel the tensions. It's easy to forget that before 1979, Iran and Israel maintained quiet yet strategic partnerships, finding common ground in their mutual suspicion of rising Arab nationalism and Soviet influence in the region. However, the seismic shift of the Iranian Revolution irrevocably changed everything, shattering the existing alliances and ushering in a new era of hostility. The revolution replaced the Western-backed Shah with a staunchly anti-Western theocracy, fundamentally altering Iran's foreign policy and its relationship with the world. This new regime saw Israel not just as a political adversary, but as an illegitimate entity, a symbol of Western influence and a direct challenge to its revolutionary ideals. For Israel, Iran's newly espoused ideology and its growing regional ambitions represented an existential threat, jeopardizing its security and long-term survival in a volatile region. This perceived threat prompted a policy of proactive defense, with a particular focus on preventing Iran from developing nuclear weapons, a capability that would dramatically shift the balance of power. Today, this deep-seated rivalry continues to shape alliances, influence regional dynamics, and keep the entire Middle East on a perpetual edge of uncertainty. Both sides remain resolutely determined to outmaneuver the other, engaging in a complex geopolitical chess game with far-reaching consequences. In this tense environment, even a single misstep, a miscalculated action, or a misinterpreted signal could ignite a full-scale regional war with potentially devastating global consequences. The Iran-Israel conflict is not fought with traditional armies clashing on open ground. Instead, it's a shadow war, a clandestine struggle. It's waged in secrecy, often unseen by the public eye, and far from traditional battlefields. This conflict unfolds in the shadows, a constant game of cat and mouse. Espionage, the art of gathering secrets, sabotage, acts of destruction aimed at weakening the enemy, and sophisticated cyber attacks are the main weapons in this silent battle. Tools used to cripple infrastructure and steal vital information. Mossad, Israel's intelligence agency, and Iran's intelligence agencies battle worldwide, often unseen, in a relentless pursuit of strategic advantage. Cyberspace is a key front in this modern conflict. Iran frequently targets Israeli infrastructure with cyber intrusions, seeking to disrupt daily life and sow chaos, while Israel's Stuxnet virus famously crippled Iran's nuclear program, setting back their ambitions for years and demonstrating the power of cyber warfare. However, Iran's real strength lies not just in cyber warfare, but also in its network of proxies. Hezbollah, the powerful Lebanese militia, Hamas, the dominant force in the Gaza Strip, and a constellation of other militant groups across the region. They are armed and funded by Iran to pressure Israel from all sides, creating a ring of potential conflict. Israel responds with targeted airstrikes, especially in Syria, a key battleground in this shadow war, aiming to disrupt Iran's military buildup, degrade its capabilities, and sever its crucial supply lines to its proxies. This ongoing low-intensity conflict is carefully designed to keep threats at bay and maintain a delicate balance of power without triggering an all-out war that could engulf the entire region. The shadow war is relentless, a constant undercurrent of tension, shaping the region's security landscape every single day and defining the future of the Middle East. Iran's strategy is rooted in regime survival and revolutionary ideology. Surrounded by adversaries, Iran uses proxies to create buffer zones and deter attacks far from its borders. Its nuclear program, shrouded in ambiguity, serves as both leverage and deterrent, keeping enemies guessing and at bay. By supporting militias and advancing its nuclear capabilities, Iran projects power and complicates its rivals' calculations. This asymmetric approach lets Iran challenge stronger foes without direct confrontation. It's a calculated game of patience, proxies, and persistent pressure. Iran's shadow war has expanded its influence from Lebanon to Yemen, with Hezbollah and Syrian intervention as key successes. But these gains come at a steep price: crippling sanctions, economic hardship, and growing domestic unrest. Iran's actions have pushed Arab states closer to Israel, forming a powerful anti-Iran bloc. Diplomatic isolation and the risk of direct military retaliation loom large. Each escalation risks a war Iran's military can't win, threatening the regime's survival. Iran's quest for regional dominance is a high-stakes gamble with uncertain rewards. Israel's strategy is driven by survival in a hostile region. Iran's rhetoric and actions are seen as existential threats, prompting Israel's unwavering stance against a nuclear Iran. Israel strikes threats at their source: airstrikes in Syria, covert operations, and relentless intelligence gathering. Advanced technology and U.S. support give Israel a crucial edge, while new alliances with Arab states further isolate Iran. Diplomacy and deterrence go hand in hand, building a coalition to counter Tehran's ambitions. Israel's doctrine: act first, stay ahead, and never let the threat reach its doorstep. Israel's proactive defense has disrupted Iran's plans and delayed threats, but it comes at a cost. Maintaining military superiority strains the budget and society, with constant readiness a national burden. Every strike risks escalation. A single miscalculation could spark a devastating war. International criticism and diplomatic fallout are constant challenges. The cycle of action and reaction keeps the region volatile, with no easy exit. Israel's quest for security may ensure survival, but it also perpetuates the conflict. The Iran-Israel shadow war, a silent but fierce struggle, is the axis around which the modern Middle East turns, influencing decisions and destinies across the region. It's a complex web of competing interests, fought in cyberspace, through proxies, and in the shadows, with each side constantly probing for weaknesses and advantages. It's a conflict with no clear end in sight, a seemingly endless cycle of action and reaction. Iran clings to its revolutionary goals and nuclear ambitions, seeking to reshape the regional order in its favor, while Israel remains determined to prevent a nuclear-armed adversary, viewing it as an existential threat to its security. The rivalry draws in global powers, each with their own strategic calculations and vested interests in the region's stability, and shapes every major crisis in the region from Syria to Yemen, exacerbating existing tensions and creating new flashpoints. Each covert operation risks igniting a wider war, a conflagration that could engulf the entire Middle East and beyond. Only a diplomatic breakthrough, a genuine commitment to dialogue and compromise, could ease tensions, but deep-seated animosity endures, fueled by historical grievances and ideological differences that seem insurmountable. For now, the shadow war continues, a constant undercurrent of tension and intrigue, defining alliances, dictating policy, and shaping the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East, and keeping millions in suspense, uncertain about what the future holds in this volatile and unpredictable region.